I asked earlier if we had any veterans here today, but I want to ask a very special question. Do we have any World War II veterans here today? Do we have the families of World War II veterans here today? Well, this number is especially for all of you. On September 2nd, 1945, aboard the U.S. battleship USS Missouri, then at anchor in Tokyo Bay, General Douglas MacArthur presided over the formal surrender ceremony of the government and armed forces of Imperial Japan. And this year we mark the 80th anniversary of that event, ending the Second World War. Waged from 1939 to 1945, it was the most deadly and far-reaching conflict in history. For the United States, from December 7, 1941 through September 2, 1945, Americans fought worldwide with our many allies, with over 16 million American citizens in the armed forces, and the entire country mobilized to support the war. Today, we musically recognize this great national effort with a sweep of the music from Victory at Sea, the famed TV documentary series. Produced in 1952 by NBC, this series endeavored for the first time to gather, organize, and curate significant combat footage taken during the war, compiling a complete picture of the major combat efforts of naval, air, and land forces from around the world. Altogether, I believe they started with a collection of over 2 million feet of combat footage. A small portion of some of this footage had previously been released through newsreel and other venues. But this was the first time a focused for purpose documentary would be developed and produced, requiring over 2 years of curating, editing, and production. The series, which won the Emmy Award in 1954 as the Best Public Affairs Program, played an important part in establishing the compilation documentary as a viable television production. Today they're commonplace. This was the first. Excerpts from the music soundtrack with content themes composed by the distinguished composer Richard Rodgers and associated with his long-time composing collaborator, Robert Russell Bennet, were recorded and sold as record albums. Mr. Rodgers' music was greatly enhanced by the comprehensive arrangements of Mr. Bennet. For this particular arrangement, Mr. Bennet transformed 8 of Mr. Rodgers' 24 themes from the series into today's symphonic scenario. You'll hear the following themes: Song of the High Seas, which was the main title theme, Submarines in a Calm Sea, Beneath the Southern Cross, reflecting on the sea and land war in both the South Pacific and the South Atlantic, the Guadalcanal March, the sunny Pacific Isles, reflecting on the rare moments of quiet time across the Pacific Ocean, the approaching enemy and death and debris, reflecting the buildup and release of the horror of combat engagement, and a lone trumpet reflecting on the devastation and the sad aftermath. And finally, the hymn of victory. Now, we realize that for many people here today, you probably have seen very little, if any, World War II war footage. And for that matter, you probably have not ever seen the Victory at Sea TV series. So to enhance our performance and add some greater context to the music, we were very fortunate and pleased to present a specially edited video film footage from the TV series. This video was prepared by the music department of Fairhaven Baptist College in Chesterton, Indiana, and provided to us through the courtesy of Dr. Jeffrey Volkman, who directed the creation of this video for the college's orchestra. We hope these images will give you some perspective for what our veterans were challenged with, as well as a small glimpse into one of the early television's milestone achievements. So now, we salute, honor, and remember all of our veterans and their families who served to achieve final victory in the Second World War. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Russell Bennett's musical suite of Richard Rodgers' themes from Victory at Sea. Thank you very much.